Okay, so as you probably guys noticed, and I'm guessing it was a pretty hard not to notice because we've sent you a bunch of emails and everything. We've sent a new tool out there, the keyword tool and content assistant. So within this presentation, I just want to show you how this keyword tool is actually working and how can you improve your business by using the keyword tool and the content assistant to its maximum potential. But more than that, I'd like you to show you how to combine this keyword tool with some other things within the tool. I know that time has passes, and here at Cognitive SEO, we keep on adding features and adding features. And I actually know that the tool is beginning to look and be more complex and more in-depth. And what we would like to know and what we would like to have are cognitives like you guys, people who can actually take full advantage of the tool, can best understand all of the tool's features and can get the best out of them. So within this presentation, I'm going to show you some info on the best shoes campaign I have here. I have a website. Some of you guys sent me also a blog post he wanted to optimize. We're going to talk about it a bit later. And yeah, let's get it started. So as you can see, I'm having here the best shoe campaign. I'm having the shoefinal.com. So basically, this is my site I'm analyzing. Let's just take a quick peek just to see how it looks. Yeah, just to get an idea of how does this website looks like. Okay, something like that. They're selling shoes, all kind of shoes. They're selling shoes I never knew they actually existed, like Zumba shoes, for instance. You guys, it's really a thing with the Zumba shoes. So yeah, if you're ever interested in Zumba shoes. So what I usually do when I see a website, right, within the Cognitive SEO. So the first thing I probably will be doing, okay, is going into the Site Explorer. You probably use the Site Explorer by now. I'm not going to insist on it. I'm just going to very, very quickly go through it because I think it's very important to have a complete overview of everything when doing a bit of website audit, right? So every time I get a new website or I want to analyze it, the very first thing I'm doing is this, going to the Cognitive SEO Explorer. So I'm going here, I just get quick info on everything, quick info on links, new last links, where are the referring domains coming from, for instance, what country of origins. But what I wanted to show you, in case you didn't know, is the ranking sections. So basically what are we seeing here and what we're looking at is the search visibility. And this metric is extraordinary. It's highly important. You should always keep an eye on it. And you can go back like with 5 years. And I can even click here to see the Google updates and correlate my ups and downs of my website, right, with the Google updates. So for instance, I can easily see and correlate that the real-time penguin, it was in September last year, if impacted somehow my website or not. I can even zoom it here to see it. So first I do this, okay, see it went really on a downhill, unfortunately. Hopefully this site will get better, we'll see better days in the future. Yeah, and another thing I'm interested in, whether it's my website or whether it's my competitors, are my top 20 ranking keywords. So which are the keywords this website is ranking best for? And it's telling you guys, shoes for Zumba is a thing, Zumba dance shoes, best walking shoes, and so on, Zumba sneakers, and all of these things, right? Probably being the site owner of the website, you already know that. You got this info, okay, I know what my website is ranking for and everything else. But if you're looking at your competitors, you might have some surprises maybe, or you get some keywords you should be interested in, or some keywords you should start targeting, and so on. So this is what happened to me actually, because I've realized that, for instance, best running shoes, it's an important keyword. This is what they told me, okay, we're very interested in ranking for best running shoes. Yeah, I have only ranks in my head. Best running shoes, not best ranking shoes. So we're very interested in ranking for this one because we're somewhere at position, I don't know exactly, but they were on the first page or something. Not exactly with this website, with another blog they're having, and we're very interested in creating content or doing something to try to have better ranking. So what can we do? So I firstly look here, saying I look a bit at the ranking keywords for their own website and for their competitors as well. And I went to the keyword tool and content assistant. Ta-da! Our newly created tool right here. And the same before, best running shoes. It's what interests me more. I forgot to tell you guys, if you're having any questions at any moment, can you please write them down in the questions area like you did before? You can just chat it out, and I'm going to look at them at the end of the presentation. Yeah, so probably I will most likely respond to them at the end of the presentation. If it's something like really, really highly urgent, you just can ask them on the spot. Okay, so now I'm going to try to see how can I best get the best ranks for best running shoes. So, and for the US market, I forgot to mention. I think you guys got a chance to play around with the shoe, with the keyword tool, where we're very proud of it. And I'm going to tell you why are we so proud of it. I know there are a lot of keyword tools out there that they do a pretty good job, but we're very proud of because we think that our keyword tools offer way more info. I mean, not only a list of keywords, but only some ranking analysis and the content assistant, which is really, really awesome. So we've done this, we're here, and we have some great info on it. We have the monthly volume, which is very high, so clearly the competition here is high as well. We have the keyword difficulty, and you might be familiar with this term from Google Keyword Planner, for instance. So the keyword from difficulty from 0 to 100, how difficult it is to rank on this keyword. And we have this. We have the content performance. On the content performance, I'm going to need to speak a bit more. So I'm going to leave it for the next step on the ranking analysis, right? So now on the Keyword Explorer, you'll say, okay, so I'll have just 2,000 unique suggestions about a bunch of keywords. Why are they helpful? Why should I look at them? How can they help me? Well, they can help you big time because basically here you're seeing the things that people actually type in the Google search box. So yeah, best running shoes post knee surgery is something people actually type in and are interested in. Okay, so or I don't know, best running shoes for old guys, for big guys, for tall guys, everything this. We have a lot of databases. We have a very large one updated freshly, but we also get info from keyword suggestions, autocompletes, and stuff like that. So basically, you'll really get here the thing that people are looking for in Google. Then again, why yet are these data important? If you're looking at this list of keywords, probably they will help you or not, I don't know. But if you're looking or other info like the volume of the CPC, this data can begin to speak for you. So for instance, what are the best running shoes? It's a keyword I might be interested in targeting, or I might be interested in using in my content, my piece of content, right? I mean, it has almost 5,000 monthly volume searches, so that's pretty important. On the other hand, I can try targeting this as well. Best running shoes, plantar fasciitis. I'm guessing this is a disease or something of the foot. So doesn't have such a high volume, but could be a very, very good idea of targeting, because you see, best running shoes is a very large one, and yeah, would be awesome, would be great that you could rank for this keyword directly. But sometimes targeting long tail keywords or targeting alternatives from the same keyword would be a better idea. Yeah. Even if they have smaller volumes, it's better to rank, I don't know, among first on a lot of keywords with small volumes. They're not ranking at all for a very important keyword like this with a very, very high volume. Yeah, so we get an idea of this. Of course, you can sort them out. You can by relevancy, number of words, volume, CPC, and stuff like that. So you can get info only on the data that you're interested in. Let's go to the ranking analysis. And here on the ranking analysis, what you're actually going to see is this thing we've talked about earlier. We've avoided talking about it earlier because I wanted to show you right now. Is this thing content performance? See, you can see it here as well, content performance. So content performance is something that we've invented, actually, that we want to patent because it's such an important metric, right? We did something like this. Okay, we have content, and we know that content influences rankings. Okay, that's great. But how do they actually influence? How can you measure? What is the metric? How can you actually know what pieces from that content influences the rankings? So we applied a lot of algorithms. We did a lot of work. You might be familiar with latent semantic search or index with Google semantic search and so on. So we did that. We mixed that all together. And we created a new metric, the content performance. We've been working on it from January or February, I think, January. Yeah, a lot of work have been invested in it. And we do believe it's quite accurate. And why do we believe that's quite accurate? Because we actually made a study. We've published it today. I'm not going to bore you with long articles. I'm just going to show you a chart. Probably you can see it on this chart. So basically, we try to make a correlation to see for almost 4 million pages to see if the content performance score influence in some way the Google position. Because we said, okay, we've invented the score, it's great. It's a really great measure for content, but does it influence positions? And the answer was yes. So you can see here is very, very high correlation. So here, the higher the content performance score, the better the positions, you see? As you go down to the 20th position, I mean, it's a very, very big difference. And things, yeah, get very interested here from 1 to 10. And actually here where people are interested in ranking usually. Yeah, so yeah, I was here. We have this content performance score. So for each of this search result, we have some info regarding this content performance. Of course, we have the number of words, page performance and domain performance, and the date when it's published. And we have the focus keywords. The focus keywords are the keywords that this page used so that it will boost its ranking. Yeah, and it's also a metric from this content performance score. So if I click here, okay, I will get some info like this. This is the name of the page, the best running shoes of the runner's world. I'm having the number of focus keywords, this one used, okay, 20 out of 9. The readability score, that is something related to content. And also I'm getting the keyword this website used, the keywords that boosted this website higher rankings. Running shoes, trail shoe, fresh foam, you see, all this, everything. So we look at info like this for top 20, 50, or 100, you decide. You can also export this data or do whatever you want with it. But I do recommend people, when looking here, to have a look at the content performance score as well. I mean, yes, you get this great info regarding who's in top 20. You know that joke that where is the best place to hide a dead body? It's probably the 3rd page of Google. Same thing here. I know you're most likely interested in the top 20 score, but it's also nice to look at what these pages did to be here, because even if they're ranking number 11 or 12, it doesn't mean it's not a qualitative page. So yeah, you can get an idea of what keywords they used as well. And as you can see, yeah, I mean, the other correlation I've shown you before, this one, okay, it was made like in 4 million pages. And here you can see a trend of descending. It's not the same linear line, of course, but it's the same idea, right? That the bigger the score, the higher. I mean, you can see here scores like 92, 70, 60 something, 75, and here you can see 20s, right? So this correlation stands for almost everything. I personally did the research, so I guarantee that is is accurate, I say. And if you want to have a talk about it, we can do it later on with no issues. Okay, so the guy that sent me this, that told me that want to rank for best running shoes, they also sent me a text, right? Actually, the content of the page he want to rank with for the best running shoes. So what to do next? We go to the content assistant. If you want to see more info about it, probably watch the video or something. I'll just go to start optimizing my content. And the saying I have here, the text that somebody sent me, probably it's online now. This is the title. Okay, I'll just put it here. And I'm gonna click on check score. So as you can see, my title is something like 17. And if you remember a screen ago, the best ranking positions from 1 to 10, they had something like, 50, 70, even 90. There was somebody. So the main idea would be to transform and craft my content so that it will rank as high as possible. If we look here, we have 4 colors, right? Each color it's for a recommendation. For instance, the green one is for the terms you already use. So you've used these keywords, right? And due to these keywords, you're having this score and everything should work on fine. I'm having a large category here with keywords you should use, right? Because there are like 97 focus keywords. Of course, you're going to tell me, but how am I going to use all these keywords? Because some of them probably don't make sense. Some of them are not suitable for my website, or some of them are just, I don't know, I'm not interested in them. Of course, you don't have to use all of the keywords, but if you don't think in terms of rankings, think in terms of quality content. I mean, just by using or just by tackling some of the themes from here, okay, you might get, I know, more satisfied customers. Maybe, I don't know, fresh foam, it's a theme you should talk about. So it's not just about putting fresh foam here in the middle of the content, just write fresh foam with no meaning, with no nothing, with no context. It's not about that. It's about creating relevant content, but using these main topics. It's a double win. You'll get way better content. That's absolutely for sure. And you also get better rankings. Why did I told you that you should not just put words there? Because we also have this category of keyword stuffing. We don't have any keyword stuffing, but we're not talking about the SEO it used to be done a couple of years ago. You just put a lot of keywords there, repeat best running shoes 20 times, and everything should be all right. No, actually, it's not really about it. What it's about creating relevant content. You're probably familiar with another Google's algorithm, Panda. Yeah, like the bear panda. And what that algorithm is about content and the quality of the content. And we believe that Google does something like that. If you're a topical authority on a specific topic, of course, Google will tend to boost you up and will tend to boost all of your pages as high as possible for different keywords. For instance, if you're creating absolutely astonishing content on best running shoes, relevant, optimized, you might get a chance to have your site to be boosted up in the tops. Of course, there are some other factors that influence rankings, and yes, we know that. But the problem with the other factors is that we cannot control them. I mean, link building is great, and links are a very important signal for Google. But the truth is that you're not in control of that signal. I mean, you cannot actually, you can do link building, but you don't know for sure if it's going to work or not, if people actually will put your links there or so on. I know social signals could also be another ranking factor, but then again, it's not something that it's in your fully control. But this content, it's something that is absolutely in your full control. And not to mention that if you're having great content here, something that you can control, you will most likely get links as well. You will most likely get social shares and so on. So it's like a wheel, like a spinning wheel here. I told you a couple of minutes ago that we're actually really, really proud of this keyword tool. And this is because mostly of this metric here, of the content performance metric. I know I'm gonna bother you with this metric a lot, but I think that is very important for you to understand what exactly is this metric, and I think it's very important for you to trust this metric, right? I mean, when I've showed you the analysis we did, the research we did, of course we did it firstly to prove to ourselves that this metric is a good one. If we weren't to have been tested this on our own website, on our own blogs, we probably wouldn't have released this. So we created this metric. We've tested it in-house on some of our blog posts. We give it away to some other people interested in this, and they say, okay, we have great results. You've probably seen on our blog post, we have Jason Assidre, who was targeting SEO Filipina, and for that specific keyword, he went like from position 12 to position 5 or something like that, which is absolutely awesome. And he did that just in a couple of weeks. We have Bin Sabal as well, Krumel, and a lot of influencers from the area that they tested the tool and they've seen like really, really cool improvements. So, saying, I know it's hard to use all of these keywords. So with a couple of minutes before starting this, I've tried optimize a bit this content, getting inspired from this, getting inspired from the keywords I've first seen in the Keyword Explorer. Remember those 2000 suggestions list? That's a really good inspiration, and I would recommend you to use those keywords within the content as well. And I've created another version of the content, an optimized version. But I must admit that this one is something like I did in a couple of minutes. It's not something fully optimized, as is not my domain of reference or something. But I just wanted to show you, like in 5 or 10 minutes, I've switched the score for 17 to 51. So my chances are increasing better and better. Right. There are also probably some important keywords you should use more often, like this one. You probably see here that some of the keywords are with bold, and they have a little bullet here, like this one. See, the keywords you use, or you should use more often. This means that those keywords are more important than others. It's not like in the saying, all humans are equal, but some of them are more equal than others. No. Not what I'm saying is that some of the keywords tend to boost your content more than some others, right? Like fresh foam seems to be a very, very hype keyword, for instance, more hype than racing flats or stability shoes. This is what the term talks about. So if I'm having 51 score, of course, it will be probably very hard to use all the 70 keywords, and I will probably don't have to use all the 70 keywords because some of them are not relevant for my content, or maybe I can boost my content performance score just by using just a few of them. So yeah, after everything is done, if your blog post is already live, after optimizing it with the tool, what you should do is you should go here, such as Google, probably heard about it. Okay. So the fetch Google feature is like telling you, I'm not connected now, but what is this telling you actually is basically you'll be asked to add the URL you've optimized and just click on fetch, and that time you're asking Google to, hey Google, take another look at this content and try to re-rank it as well, see what I've done here. So Google will take another look at your content, and you will see ranking improvements in a couple of, hours or days. It all depends on how Google works and how fast Google processes your requests. From my experience, I mean, the maximum time I had to wait would be something like I don't know, 36 or maybe 48 hours, but that was a maximum. I had to wait. Yeah, probably it's very important to have a content well optimized for keywords, saying before, but it's very, very important to have content optimized for several or a larger gamma of keywords. Best running shoes for women, best running shoes for men, best running shoes for old men or for youngs or for tall guys and so on. So why are these keywords here? Because if you're optimized only for one important keyword, it's very unlikely that you'll be a topical authority. But you're optimized for several, of course, from the same niche, from the same area, then your chances to have a good topical authority content will increase dramatically, and that's for sure. So before going a bit further, I'm curious, you guys. I'm just gonna try to see if a bit of your questions. Just a second now, and yeah, I'm having some questions here already, and I don't want to miss them. If you're having some more questions regarding this, you can also address them here. But I'm just gonna try. Just 1 second. Okay. Someone asks us if it would be possible to put in an existing URL, and the tool will get the existing title and content to analyze. So you're probably talking about the content assistant area, right? So you would like that instead of copy paste your content to actually add the URL. We've tried that already. I mean, we did that, you see, when the product was in alpha. But the problem is that when you're getting a page like, I don't know, let me see, the loans list, or I don't know, with page with a lot of, this has a lot of content, I think. No, but a page with a lot of pictures and a lot of HTMLs and a lot of JavaScript and a lot of everything. We had a lot of errors going on. And not all the important content was copied here, or vice versa. It was copied content that was actually irrelevant. So this is why we decided to do this version with adding the text. Of course, we're going to think if we're going to find the best and optimized way so that you can introduce the URL and get the exact content. We're going to surely use it. But so far, this is, I think, is the best version to see your exact content and not irrelevant stuff to it. Okay, another video. How to save a content exercise for later review update. Like this, copy paste it into your own text box. I think this is the best. I think I understand what you're trying to say is that maybe you have optimized, right, for a score like 51, and you want to optimize later on to get to 90, 100, yeah. But for the moment, what you can do is go here, copy to clipboard, open a new document, Google Drive, your own text document or something like that, paste it there, and that's it. I think this is the best version. After that, you come here, optimize some more, and yeah. If I'm recording this webinar, yes, I would love to have it rewatched. Thank you, Jamie. I hope that you would like to rewatch it just for my absolutely amazing jokes. Can ranking analysis be done for one of my web pages? Sure. Just you're interested in a specific keyword. If you're interested in a very specific keyword, just put it in here, and we're gonna see it at the end if we have some more times. I'm guessing you guys have more questions than they would think of. Okay. Does it matter if content is plain text or hyperlinked? No, it doesn't matter because it will take actually the content itself as well. So he does know which are words to say like that. Okay. Okay, everybody wants to enter the existing URL from what I see here. Can we get okay, another okay. It says something. There is a difference between Tjerk, I think, says that there is a difference between the content performance in ranking analysis, and after I tried the content assistant with the same text for my page. So from what I understand, you probably went here in the ranking analysis and it was 75. You've copied this text, you paste it here, and you get another score. I think you can send me the exact situation so I can check it out. But what mostly happened is the reason why we don't have an URL input for the moment, right? Just to avoid this kind of confusion, because it could be taken into consideration more areas that are not very important, right? And also with the title, it's a big discussion here. And so on. So Tjerk, if you have that specific example, you can send it over now, or you can send it through email, and I'm going to try to check it out. Can you optimize for more than one keyword or keyword phrase at a time? At a time, no, but you can do things step by step, right? Try to optimize for a keyword, and after that for another. But things are somehow optimizing for themselves, to say like that. For instance, if you're optimizing for best running shoes, when you're gonna start optimizing for best running shoes for women, for sure you're going to have your content a little bit more optimized than it was before. Because if you're optimizing for from the same niche, the same area, the same topic, it's impossible not to increase your score for all the categories, right? Julien asked me if it's all okay with the diacritics letters, like in French. Yes, Julien, all diacritics, all language should work just fine, so no worries with that. When checking the content, should we include only the text itself on the entire pages, including menus? Here it depends what exactly, how relevant the other content is for that. So for instance, if I'm going here, right, I have best running shoes, so I'm saying I'm getting this text, yeah, okay. So your question would be, should I copy this as well, everything that is here, or should I copy only the text? I'm going to tell you what I would personally do, but of course it's your choice. I would try to copy the text only, because the text is the one I'm trying to optimize. Of course, when the content performance score will be made after all, it will take in this consideration these keywords as well, and your content performance score would be a bit higher. But what I would recommend you to do is to try optimizing the text itself. I mean, the content you're actually into optimizing, right? Okay. Manuel asks us, what do you know about the exact match domains, if they're still an advantage or not? Manuel, we've run an analysis, like, I know, half a year or maybe 1 year ago. I'm going to send it over to you. And yeah, it looks like having an exact match domain is still an advantage. Or at least it was when we did the research, like I told you, 6 months or maybe 1 year ago. So yeah, but it's a more complex discussion on this. Of course, you shouldn't rely only on that, having an exact match domains, but it seems that there is a tendency to have better ranks correlated to exact match domains. What have you seen in terms of ideal word count length in relation to content performance score? I might see that when it comes to this, it depends on, it's very contextual and depends on what you have here on the ranking analysis. I mean, what I usually see, I don't know if it's a perfect length. I can tell you, for instance, what we find out from this study. So we've studied 4 million domain performance. Sorry, how long should your content be to get higher rankings. So I've studied like 4 million pages, and I got this. For all those 4 million pages, okay, the content that was ranking number first had in average somewhere here, like 1,700 keywords. Okay, but you see there is a big change here. It is, I do believe, based on other researches or based on other things I've read and other internal case studies we've seen, that having indeed a bit more keywords than less increases your chances of having better ranks. Because you can see here, like, even it was not maybe a correlation that is specific for us. It's a correlation that needs to be taken into consideration. And we can see a trend here, you see? The higher the position, the bigger the number of keywords. The smaller the position, the smaller the number of keywords, see? So I think that the tendency is to have more keywords than less in order to rank best. Of course, I do believe that it depends a lot of the industry you're working on. But mainly, if we take to look at this chart and take it in consideration, yeah. Why for me my main job, to say like that, my experience is in content writing. So I'm a content writer. So for me, it's very hard to say that, okay, this exact number of words will get you there, or this is the ideal number of words. I don't think there is such a thing. It all depends on the context. Of course, having more words, it will be even more, it will make it easier for you to add a lot of these keywords. I mean, if you have to use, like, I don't know, 40 focus keywords, where are you going to put all of that? You know, it would be a bit difficult. Let's take some more keywords. I think you guys messed up a bit with my plans because I was trying to show you a lot of other things. Have you ever scored in 100 any tests? Yes, Anthony, we've scored 100. That I can tell you for sure. And it was pretty difficult indeed, but we did it. Does it only optimize for content that is viewable? Okay, what about content or pages that are not displayed but requires the viewer to click on? Yeah, this is, again, we go to the same problem. Why not entering an URL instead of getting the full content? Because we could have this sort of problem. If I enter just a URL, I might not be able to scrape the content that is visible, that is not visible. You know, those are those contents that, hey, this is the beginning of the article. To read the full article, click here, and I need to click, and then I'll see the article. Well, if I would put a URL here, there would be chances for us not to see the full content. And to avoid this situation, I think the best way is to get your content, copy from one place, and paste it right here. So Stanford, I think that answer your questions as well. So even if you're having content that is not visible, no worries, just copy it here. When it's not saving offline, yeah, the saving problem John also has. Yeah, I was saying we're going to implement maybe a different function with saving. Now that you see, guys, all of you are having these requests, is really interesting for us to see how you see this tool, if you like it. If not, what improvements should we make? So we're going to work on the URL input, on the saving things, of course. Why are pages with lower authority performance, the main authority, showing up higher on the ranking analysis? Well, to be honest, this is a question that I would like to know. But probably, if I know the answer to these questions, meaning why are pages with lower page performance and domain performance ranking lower than other with higher page and domain performance, I would probably work somewhere at the Google algorithms right now. But for the moment, I don't work there, so I do not know the exact reason why this happened. And the only the only persons who know this would be the guys from Google. So yeah, because Google has over 200 rules when choosing to rank a website. So based on that rules, which are known by Google itself only, a website can have different ranks. So we don't know for sure. What are some example steps for outranking another link on a Google keyword search? So other examples example steps. Okay, except of these three main and very important steps, I might say: Keyword Explorer, Ranking Analysis, and Content Assistant. Cognitive SEO, it's very, very complex and has a lot of data to offer. So I'm gonna go here to answer the questions, because I was intending to go here anyways. Oh, a lot of questions here. Okay. Where is it? Okay, it's here. So Cognitive SEO doesn't mean just Site Explorer, and doesn't mean just Keyword Tool and Content Assistant. It's a very complex tool suite, because the issues with ranking these days are very complex. And you have a lot of tabs here already. You have inbound link analysis, you have rank tracking, the content visibility, and you also have the possibility of reporting. And Jamie, just to answer your questions very, very quick, for instance, like an easy from the category of tips and tricks, what you can do is go here to the competitive link analysis. Okay. I assume I didn't show you how exactly everything here works, because I assumed you guys, you're already having a Cognitive SEO, and you probably know mainly how it works. So I've concentrating on the keyword tool because I knew there is a place you're having a lot of questions on. But I also want you to remember that it's also very, very important to do link audits and to constantly monitor your tool, your websites, because that's extremely, extremely important. While my report is being, of course, it will take a while. Oh no, it's working just well. Sorry. I'm having a bit of delay due to this webinar thing, and that's why I'm saying. So the tips and tricks for you guys were this one. So you are interested in your competitors' links, right? And how can you get their links? How can you outrank them? How can you get inspired? Because you also face this problem. Okay, I'm going to try doing a bit of link building, but where am I going to start from? What should I do? What is the first step, right? So you're having these two charts here, the common links and common domains. Hope you guys see them. Everything we see here with red, okay, are places my website is linking, and these guys are linking as well. But everything we see in gray area here are places where my competitors are linking, these guys are linking, but I'm not. So all these places are awesome opportunities for me to start doing some link building, because basically the tool is giving me the full list with places there actually having links, and I don't. And they're a very, very good place to start, and a very, very good beginning to do some link building. Okay, so hope this answered your questions. Of course, you can do a lot more with Cognitive SEO, but we'll probably have to set something like a 10 hours webinar for that. So I'm just showing you some quick tips and tricks from now on. Let me see my other questions, just a second. I hope that answered your questions a bit. Yes, Jamie, we're recording the webinar, and we're going to send it over if you're interested. Again, we have some saving questions from Harry. If we keep track of the pages we changed the content on within the system. For the moment, no, Harry, but I recommend you to always save that piece of content. Simply go to the Content Assistant, copy paste, and that should do the work. Can we rank 2 keywords on a single page? You can rank, or you can try creating content for 20 keywords on one single page, but you cannot do them in the same time. Yeah, I think I've explained this a bit earlier. Yeah, same questions from here. Okay, we have we have a lot of questions, and I'll have to keep an eye on all of them. Yeah, I just want to show you just a very quick things within the tool. Yeah, some tips and tricks like the one I've shown you right now. And meanwhile, if you're having any questions in your mind, because we're having like 5 more minutes, you guys. So if you're having any question regarding the Cognitive SEO suite, please put it there on the questions area. And also what I would like for you guys is to tell me how do you like so far the keyword tool, if you find it a very good improvement or not, a nice feature from Cognitive SEO. And what are the other improvements you would like to see, except the URL input and the saving things. Okay, I'm gonna go here within the tool as well. Okay, I've shown you the things with the common links and common domains, which I do believe is gold. Some other things we could do, and some other things which would help you with rankings and everything. It's also trying to have a look at these charts here. You see the web page type charts or the link positioning? I mean, these are extremely helpful for you, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, for instance, link positioning, you'll say, okay, why would I care where the link is positioned? Well, it's not just the exact position, but it will give you ideas on how you should do your SEO strategy. For instance, if these guys run as World, and they're doing the best in the industry, right? If this, let's say, if these guys, they're having a lot of blog posts, so probably blog posts are a really good place to start with. So maybe I should try doing a bit of content writing in blog posts as well. If I don't know, they're having short paragraph of text and group of links, yeah, this is not very Google friendly, so maybe these are not the links I should follow. Blog comments, again, depends. But as we look here, its main strategy are coming from blog and blog posts, right? And also very important, this one, okay? The web page category, the web page language, I can always get ideas from my competitors. Where should I be looking at? What should I be going for? Because when you say running shoes and stuff, right, you might be going to sports category only because, okay, that's sports. But look here, there is health, which is very related to sports. So maybe this is a niche I could tackle as well. There's also fashion, there is recreation, there is business, tech, and so on. So it's not just about just a bunch of charts here, but it's a big set of data that if you take the time to look at with a bit of attention, you'll get a lot of info from it. A lot of info from it. Also, I probably know you know about rank track and content report stuff. I'm just gonna go a bit on the dashboard. And I'm gonna ask you pretty please, if you don't have this SEO visibility chart set already, please do me a favor and set it, okay? This is very important. I've explained to you at the beginning of the webinar why it's so important. Another cool thing is that you can, for instance, see the SEO visibility for some other websites, see on a side-by-side. Okay, so these guys, for instance, TrueBuy.com, they had a really big drop here. Something really nasty happened with them. So it's really nice to see. What I'm trying to tell you is that in order to have the best results, in order to boost your rankings, you cannot do all of this with one tool only. You need to combine all of these features because together they're more powerful, and together they can take you to the ranks you need to deserve. Okay. So as saying before, let's see if you have any other questions, because I've asked you at the beginning of the webinar, if you at the beginning a couple of minutes ago, you guys, I've asked you to tell me if you're having any other questions regarding the keyword tool and content assistant or the cognitive SEO toolset. And also, I would like you to tell me if you like this new tool you've just created. So please just put your questions here. And if you're having other wishes, I mean, new features we would like to implement and stuff like that. A complementary redo button as well, Ryan says. So like a redo button just to start over your content, I'm guessing. Okay, that would be a nice having. Okay, the URL input, the saving function again. Okay, all this. Thank you. Okay, a lot of people. Okay, thank you as well, Thomas, for your suggestion. To target a geo area, do we include that area in the search bar? So Jamie, I think the best way to do that is to target it from here. Of course, if you're targeting something like, I know, best coffee shop Maryland or best pizza Manhattan, yes, if that is the keyword you're targeting, you should add it here. But if, for instance, you want to see this query best running shoes, but we want to see the Canada market, then you should add it from here. Yeah. So basically, it all depends. It all depends on the keyword you're targeting. How does it look like? Okay. Ranking analysis. No. Yeah, a lot of. Okay. Thank you, edit ads as well. Some domains. Some domains rank highly, but have a lower content quality score. Yeah, this can happen. Like, right? Let's see, we're having, sorry for this. We're having this one, it's 92, right? And it's on the second position. And we have this one, it is 57, it's on the first position. So we'll say, okay, why is this happening, right? But remember that there are some other factors as well. You see here, domain and the page performance. For these guys, it's higher than for these guys. So probably combining all this data, this runnersworld.com managed to be on the first position. So this is why this situation happens. Of course, as saying before, the content performance score is not the only one that influences rankings, but for sure it's a good place to start because it gives you a bunch of data. And as I showed you before, is a very strong correlation between a high content performance score and better rankings. Yeah. So you guys, I know you still have questions and stuff like that. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you a lot. If you're having any other questions, you know that you have our email, our support email. I or one of my colleagues are going to try to respond to you as quick as possible. Also, if you're having any feedbacks of any kind, please be so kind to send us over. We will gladly look over it. Thank you once again for your attention. Hope this is very useful for you. I'm sure it was very, very useful for me. And I think you did very good things for today. One, you are a cognitive SEO client, so that's a win already. And two, you've attended my webinar. So yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and have a great day, a great evening, and a great end of the week. Bye. To your better ranks. Talk to you on support. Bye.